Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a story time about the time that I found out I was pregnant. I didn't really know what I should do to start off this channel, but I thought that a story time would be good because I could tell you a little bit about myself, but also something a little entertaining. I didn't want to just do like a Q&A because it's kind of boring, I guess. I found out I was pregnant in 2018, in like November of 2018, and it was like the biggest shock of my life. So first, I just noticed that my period wasn't coming. That's like the first telltale sign that everybody notices your period is like late. It was late for like, I believe 10 days at that point, and I have an irregular period, so like I wasn't too worried after like 3, 4, 5 days. After it was like over a week, I was like, okay, I'm a little concerned now. I've had scares before, but this time, something about it just felt different. I don't know, my body felt different. I've heard people say that they just kind of knew, and I feel like that's how I felt too. I just kind of knew. I just could feel it in my bones, in my body. I kind of just felt like this is different. My body's never really felt like this before, and my period is late. So that's when I was really worried. I told my boyfriend, and I was like, oh my God, like my period is late. And this was when we had moved upstate. Me and my boyfriend moved upstate together. We were kind of like budgeting and, you know, kind of really like scraping together funds to do everything we had, you know, because we kind of rushed to move out, want our own space or whatever. We weren't fully financially ready, so we were kind of living like paycheck to paycheck to paycheck type of thing. And so I was like, oh my God, my period's late, like what should I do? And he was like, you know, we need to get a pregnancy test. Like we were both so broke that I couldn't even afford to like buy a $20 pregnancy test until like either of us got paid again. And I was just like so concerned, so worried that I was like, I can't wait, I have to know if I'm pregnant. My best friend, I called her, was like, girl, I got you, and she sent me the money so that I can get a pregnancy test. I rush to Walmart, I go get a pregnancy test, and I take it. And like, you know, that moment, I don't know if anyone else has ever had a pregnancy scare and you take a pregnancy test and there's like that like 60 seconds or whatever you have to wait, and it's kind of like sitting there. And I just remember kind of thinking like, okay, you're probably not pregnant, Tamara, like you're good, like just hope for the best, you're not pregnant, everything's good, like God, please. But then there was also that part of me that was like, oh my God, what if you're pregnant? Like, what if you're pregnant? Like, what would you do? I don't know what I would do. It's time to check, and I look and I see the 2 lines. Or, yeah, the 2 lines. Actually, no. I think I had a pregnancy test that said the words on it, like one of those electronic things. I looked at the pregnancy test and it said pregnant. And immediately, like, my heart felt like it fell into my butt, my toes. Like, it just fell into the deepest depths of my body that it could have fell. And the first question was like, what are you gonna do? I was 20 at the time. I hadn't even turned 21. I was scared. I was scared to tell my mom. I was scared to figure out what I was gonna do. I was scared to think about the possibility of having him, or having it, it's him now, but having it, and what I would do, how would I live my life, like you know, how am I going to do this? 20-year-old me who is living paycheck to paycheck, who couldn't even afford that pregnancy test. How am I gonna be a mom and take care of a kid? So many things rushing through my mind. I just remember feeling really emotional, and you know, I showed my boyfriend. I feel like a lot of guys don't think about this, but a lot of guys just need to know that they can be a little bit more reassuring, you know, as much as I'm sure they're scared. Like, what do you think she's going through? Everything you're feeling, she's feeling that and more, because she's gonna have to be a parent just like you, and then she's also gonna have to go through all these other physical changes that you will never understand. My boyfriend, he was so nice, and he was just like, listen, I want to let you know that it's your body, it's your decision, what you want to do, but I want you to keep it. And you know, the first thing I'm thinking, like, you want me to keep it? Like, how are we gonna pay for this? Like, how are we going to have a baby? How are we going to take care of it? You know, the apartment that we lived in at the time had space, but we can't afford to have a kid up there. Like, upstate New York, and like that can be a whole other thing I can talk about another time. living up there, it was so different for me. I'm from New York City, and it was just like nothing I'd ever experienced before. This was somewhere we were staying for the moment, but it's not somewhere we want to start a family. I just didn't know how we were going to make this work. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I decided to go to a like Planned Parenthood type of place there. There wasn't a lot of like places I could go to in terms of like clinics and stuff. There was like one local clinic in the town, and then there was this Planned Parenthood thing that I honestly feel like they had because that town was like a college town. But I went there and they were really nice, and they pretty much, you know, like, we are a Planned Parenthood and they were like a sector of the church, but they were very open about the fact that they don't push anything on you, you know, like it's your choice, whatever you want to do. They gave me a lot of information, some pamphlets, they gave me a free What to Expect book, which was very nice. I skimmed through that book, honestly, didn't really read it. I mean, it was nice to at least have some sort of resource to like kind of look back at. They also gave me these like cute little like crochet booties. They were so cute. They were like yellow and like green, and they said they were like handmade by someone there, and I thought that was really nice. But after that, I made a doctor's appointment, and it's weird. I never knew this until I was pregnant. Most doctors won't let you come and have an appointment until you're at least like 8 to 10 weeks pregnant. At that moment, I was like at most maybe like 4, 6 the most. I couldn't get seen for like another month, which is kind of nerve-wracking to me. Didn't know if the pregnancy was okay, if like everything was fine. I still didn't know what I was doing at that point too, so I was kind of like, I don't know my time frames. If you do decide to, you know, terminate a pregnancy, what, you know, are my options going to be minimized because they're taking so long? I was just kind of nervous and on edge about a lot of things. My appointment came around, and the doctor, he was really nice too. If I had stayed up there for the rest of my pregnancy, he would have been a great doctor. And I made, you know, my next appointment. You go like, I want to say every month, and then I think you go like every week towards the end. I don't know, it wasn't that long ago, but I like literally cannot remember. I made my next appointment, and in that span from the first appointment to the next appointment, I just was having the worst time up there. I was missing home, I missed my friends, I missed my family, I missed everything. I missed the food that I could get here that I couldn't get up there. I just missed the atmosphere. I just missed little things I didn't think I was gonna miss. I just had to go back. In that time, I told my mom, and you know, she didn't take it very well at first, of course. In the moment, looking back, I was really defensive and wasn't really hearing her concerns, and she was asking me a bunch of questions that are fair questions, but when you're in that moment and you already don't know what you're gonna do. I found out I'm pregnant. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I'm telling you because you're my mom, and I just kind of wanna maybe vent, and you're getting met with all these questions, and it's a little overwhelming, and I feel like I kind of got really defensive and blew up at her, but she took it way better than some people would have, and some other moms would have, so I gotta give her credit for that. And my mom was very supportive throughout the entire pregnancy. But during that time, girl, I just had to get out of there. I had to get out of there. The taxi drivers out there, because that small town does not have Uber or Lyft or any of that. That just does not exist there. There are no like public transportation really. They have like transportation to transport you from like that town to the next town over or something like that, but not like within the one town, and everything within the one town was not like walking distance. Like it was, but I could be walking somewhere for like 40 minutes just to get there in the town, you know what I mean? And we didn't have a car up there, so traveling was the worst. The worst. I hated it. I hated taking the taxi. The food up there sucked. They had like 3 pizza places. Yeah, the food just sucked. They had like one really nice like sub spot. They were expensive, so expensive. By the time we like got onto it, it was like close to like the ending of December, and I guess like the semester was ending, and I'm guessing it's either run by college students or most of the people who work there were college students, so they closed down for like until like the semester started again next like spring semester. And I was like, what the hell? You're a place and you're just gonna close down? But that's the things that happen in like college towns and things like that. Like everything was closed really early, and if school wasn't in session, a lot of things were closed. So I think that's what kind of like really made me want to leave, is by the time like December rolled around and school wasn't in session anymore, and it was just so dead, so dead. I just was not happy. And how you feel during pregnancy is very important. You know, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, we can't stay here, you know, like we have to leave. We have to go back home. Like neither of us at that point wanted to go back home. Obviously, you know, you leave home, you don't want to go back. But I feel like the circumstances arised, and here we are, we had to go back. I mean, we learned from that lesson not to like rush out just because you're in a rush to move out or whatever. Make sure that you have your P's and Q's in order and you have everything that you need, you know, money saved up and all of that, which we didn't do the first time. I think that having a baby and being a mom has really changed me. Not to be like cliche, like, oh, I'm a new person now. Like, no. I don't want to like talk bad about like my previous self, but I was lazy before, like very lazy. I still think I'm kind of lazy now sometimes. I'm disorganized. I can be really all over the place. A little chaotic, if you will, and chaotic energy. I feel like that's what I exude sometimes. I feel like having a baby definitely like forces me to be more organized and put together, you know, because you're not just organizing your things and your life now, it's someone else's life that you're organizing and being in charge of. I feel like being a mom is like so many jobs wrapped up in one. Like when they say that you're a chef, a teacher, like a maid, all of that wrapped in one, you really are. You do everything for that human being. You make sure it eats, it sleeps, it's clean. You make sure that it's happy and content and has clothes on its back and all of that. That's a lot of work. It definitely pushes me to just try and be the best me I can be. I'd do anything for that kid, you know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him, but I don't think I'd be in the mindset. Probably, obviously wouldn't even be making this video. This is gonna be my first YouTube video, and it took a lot for me to finally sit down, look presentable, and film a video. I don't get a lot of time. It's exhausting. And sometimes when you do get like an hour to yourself or 2 hours to yourself, you're just like, all right, should I try and like film a YouTube video? Or should I use that time to like, I don't know, do laundry or cook dinner, or I don't know, just like watch some TV to have like 30 minutes of me time and not feel insane. Sometimes you gotta prioritize. That was my story of how I found out I was pregnant at 20. Can you believe that? Found out I was pregnant at 20. Literally a month before my birthday. I found out I was pregnant in November. My birthday was December. And I turned 21 and couldn't even drink. Not even a sip. I was like, really? Really? I mean, I'm not that much of a drinker anyways, so it wasn't like, oh my God, but it was just kind of like, you know, on my 21st birthday, I kind of wanted to get drunk. It's fine. It's really fine. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like and comment if there's anything you'd want to see or want me to talk more about, anything about my pregnancy. I'd love to talk about my pregnancy and, you know, like what I went through and how it was, because I feel like with social media, a lot of people talk about like their pregnancy and, you know, they document it is the right word. Document their pregnancy, and it seems like, oh my God, she's always looked so happy and so glowing, and look at her, she's so happy with her bump. Trust me, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. Definitely not every day. There's definitely some good days and some good moments, some good weeks, even a good month. You might have a whole good month during your pregnancy, but most of the time it's gonna be a lot of stuff. And I'd love to talk about it if you guys want me to talk about it in another video. But thank you guys for sitting through all of this. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.